So, just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch. I basically do trading guides for both Xbox and PlayStation for all budgets, from silver trading to icon trading with shadow trading and special card trading. On top of that, I do investments for Weekend League, Pre-Team of the Week and event investing. And you do have the ability to DM me one-on-one with any individual questions. And you can get all this for £4.99 a month or free if you have Amazon Prime. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video. So, in today's video, what we're going to be doing is showing you guys my recommended trading methods now that EA have patched compare price back out. So if you guys didn't know, basically EA patched compare price back out, which is basically a core mechanic I use for every single trading method, from anything from cheap to expensive. So first of all, I guess I'll show you what compare price back out is. So let's say, for example, I wanted to go and buy a Pogba. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much Pogba goes for, so do just give me a second. Pogba goes for like 38k. Perfect. So what you could do, as long as there are no cards over the hour, is you could press compare price back out. And what this would basically do is refresh the market. Then if a new Pogba is listed, you'd be able to see that new Pogba that's listed because you're refreshing the market with compare price back out. Well, what you'll see is that there are no Pogbas being listed. But if I go back out and search again, I would hope... Okay, I need something that will fit my agenda. Let's try 39k. So if I press compare price back out, this is not going to refresh the market. But we can see that the quote-unquote last Pogba on the market that hasn't been bought is this one. But if I go back out and search again, it should be... it's not fitting my agenda. But basically, they fixed compare price back out to the extent where you can't refresh... You can't compare price back out and refresh the market. This means that all of my trading methods have been completely mugged off because they all rely on that. So what I'm going to be doing and using this video for is basically showing you how you can do the old methods but without using the compare price back out. Basically, I can now recommend people methods that isn't a video that, you know, the compare price filter won't work. So the first method is if you are on a low amount of coins. In fact, the first method is if you're on a low amount of coins and you want an easy method. Because obviously... there are three different methods you can use for silvers. You've got straight up sniping the cheapest player, then you've got learning prices, and you've got through going through them one by one. So the easiest method on silver trading is literally going silver, pick a league of its own league SBCs. You could do Prem, Bundesliga, Liga, La Liga, or whatever, Serie A. I'm going to go for La Liga, and then what I want to do is just find the cheapest player that's going to pop up under this filter. So that is, what, 450 right now? Obviously, this will differ whenever you're watching the video. So, cheapest is 450. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and snipe every single player that pops up for 400 and below. Now, the thing isn't me to go and buy them at 400. Oh, compare price doesn't work. The thing isn't for me to go and buy them at oh wow, that's not bad. Is to go and sell them at 450, because as we know, the cheapest on the market is 450. The point is, I buy them 50 coins below whatever the cheapest on the market is, and then I go and sell them for whatever their individual card is going for. So, for example, I bought this guy at 400, and he's actually quite a good example with this. Cheapest on the market is 900, so I can buy him for 400 and sell him for 850. Obviously, I'm just over doubling my coins in that card. Obviously, as I say, this is a very, I guess, small profit method. But this is if you're on a low budget, you're not expecting to make 10, 20k a card if you've got a budget of 20k. So again, you need to go pick a league with its own league SBC. Again, I'll do the exact same thing here with the Bundesliga. There we go, and let's find what the cheapest Bundesliga player is. Again, that's 450, so what I do is I buy everyone under 400. Now, what you will start to do when doing this method is you'll start learning which ones only go for 450 and which ones go for above. And then what you'll start doing is you'll start not buying the ones that go for 450, because you don't really want to buy a card for 400 and sell it for 450. So again, this guy's going to be going for about probably just 750, so that's not too bad. You don't have to sell for the cheapest, you can always sell for the second cheapest or third cheapest. So there we go, very, very simple method, and you can see how it's already being profitable. Now, the way of leveling this up is basically not searching at the cheapest on the market. So what I would personally do is I'd basically set it so that I have no more than 15 pages to get to the 59th minute. So that honestly might be... No, that works. So this is only 4 pages. So what I would do is I'd go silver, pick a league, basic chem style, and basically have it so, again, there is 15 or less pages to get to the 59th minute. The reason for this is because you don't want to be scrolling those pages. So this is 12, so I could probably one-up it. I'd probably go silver, La Liga, basic chem style, and then 550 coins bid. Sorry, maximum by now. So let's see how many pages this takes to get to the 59th minute. Do you know what? We might be able to... Well, no, this is about 15 pages. So now what the idea is, now you're at the 59th minute, you're looking for deals. Now, previously, hopefully you are starting to learn who is expensive. You know, I can tell you that the Candice, I think right mid, 800 coins. I remember that the Wonder Bremen right back was 750. And the idea is you'll start building up a market knowledge and learning who's expensive. And then what you'll do is you'll head to the 59th minute, identify the expensive players, and then go and buy them. So there's nothing there. And if there's no expensive players, you're just going to back out, put the filter in, scroll to the 59th minute. So it should be pretty simple in terms of, what you really have to do. So again, we're going to scroll to the 59th minute. Are there any good deals? If you're not sure it's a good deal, press compare price. So yeah, Barcelona player right there. I mean, he has been just listed for 350, so you'd always struggle getting him because people will be doing the first filter and win him. But yeah, obviously that would have been a good deal. Centre back from Elche. So all you need to do for this is learn who's expensive. A little tip on learning who's expensive is heading over to Footbin, heading over to the SBC tab. What is it? And then finding the League SBCs. So let's say I want to do the La Liga. I would find wherever the La Liga is. There you go. And I'd probably identify any team that's over 10k and then identify the expensive silvers. So this team's over 10k, so what I'd do is I'd go into that team and find all the expensive silvers and then learn them. This team's over 10k, so I'd find all the expensive silvers and learn them. Likewise with this team. Likewise with Getafe. Who else would you do it with? Likewise with Real Madrid. Likewise with... You could do it with Villarreal, you could do it with Sevilla, and definitely do it with Huescara. So what you can do is you can head onto the team. You go probably completed challenges. You just click on this. And then what I would personally do is then click on the team. Then basically you go and see, okay, CDM sells, right back sells, CDM sells, centre mid sells, left back sells, centre mid sells, striker really sells, right back. I'll be honest with you, give or take everyone from this team apart from the centre back sells. So what I would do is if I ever saw a Huescara player pop under this filter, I'd go and buy them because I know that they will sell on. So yeah, that is the I guess the second level of difficulty to this. The third level is once you know all the expensive players, rather than doing that, you can literally go through them one by one by one. So luckily, because I've been doing this method for a while, I kind of know all the expensive players. So what you're doing is you're looking for a decent price difference between the cheapest and the second cheapest. So for example, if I want to go and get this Atletico left back, and the cheapest was 1.8 and the second cheapest was 1k, I'd go and buy him for 1k and then go and list him for 1.8k. And as you can see, there wouldn't be a bad little profit. Again, right back, let's see if this works. So we got 900. No, there's not enough between the cheapest and the second cheapest. Let's go and find some more expensive players. I mean, yeah, you can really use the very, very expensive silvers when doing this method as well. So obviously, I'm not really too toned up with how expensive all these players are going for. In theory, if you knew all their prices, you would literally just be able to go through them one by one by one by one rapidly and not faff around with trying to remember what the prices are. So there you go. This one's 11k. So maybe if the next one isn't any cheaper than like 12.50, I'd go and buy it. In theory, I could buy it for 11 instead of 12.50, but it wouldn't be that good. CDM. So you can kind of get the idea that you're taking away all sniping to this, and right now all you need to do is learn the expensive players and go through them one by one by one. It doesn't even matter if you end up doing it like how I'm doing it right now, where it's not really, I don't exactly remember how much they were going for, but as long as I can identify the cheapest and the second cheapest, we're all looking good. So we can get a deal on this because it would be good, for example. So I know that the centre backs, you can also bring in bronzes to this. So when you're doing that, you can also look at some of the bronzes because there are expensive bronzes in this. So I don't know, he pops up for 600. I'd buy him for 600, sell him at 1.2k. Likewise with the centre mid. Okay, so the cheapest is 1.2. So maybe if the next cheapest wasn't until like 2k, I'd buy it. But yeah, once again, no deal right there. But yeah, this is like the third level, is learn all the expensive players and go through them one by one by one. So there are your cheap silver methods. Now to get underway with what to do on a slightly higher budget. Now the first filter I would recommend would be Special Shadow, 9.5k minimum bid. Maximum bid, I'd probably set it to 13. Minimum buy now, I'd probably... You can honestly leave it at 10 in all fairness. And what I would do is basically you search this and you scroll to the 59th minute. And what you're going to be doing is you are going to be looking, again, the same sort of principle. You don't really want there being many more than 15 pages. What you're going to do is hopefully get to the 59th minute within 15 pages. And then you're going to be looking for special card deals. Now, this is exactly like the previous one, but what you can't do nowadays is compare price back out. All you got to do is scroll to 59th minute. If there's any deals, you buy them. If there's no deals, you back out and search it. So how do you know who's expensive? You use Footbin. So let's say we got Paqueta right here. What I do is I would type Paqueta in. And then I would press hourly. And what I would do is look, how much has he been in the last 24 hours? I mean, he's been 43k very generously. He's been 40k right there. we look at his prices yesterday, it's been up to 46. So I probably would gauge, I could probably actually sell him for about 43k. So what I'm going to do right there is buy that and sell it at 43k. You see, he's a very rare card, and due to him being a very rare card, what will happen is he'll fluctuate up and down all day. Might be a little bit harder to sell on than a demanded weekly player, but, you know, he'll fluctuate all day. We then have Upper Meccano. Let's have a look at how much Upper Meccano has been in the last 24 hours. And as long as we haven't had like a party bag or anything massive in the last 24 hours, it is very safe to use this method. So we've got 98k right there. Yeah, got 98. So in theory, you can sell him at 98. We're buying him at 96. Does not help. Now, if you wonder what I do this exact same thing, but I basically put in my trading guide, which means I actually write everything down. So you see that I've written down Valverde, 105 on Xbox, 81 on Xbox, 105 on PlayStation. And I'm using the exact same thing. I'm looking at the last 24 hours. I'm looking at the consistent peaks. I don't really look at one-off peaks. I look at they've been at that price for about, let's say, 4 hours in the last 24 hours, ideally in different spells. And what I'll do is I'll basically just go and write down loads and loads and loads of players' prices. And it helps me remember if I write stuff down, so that's another reason, and that's how I learn the prices. And the further filters is really just upscaling this. So obviously you saw we were running a filter of, I mean, I'll go and show you right now, because I'll show you the active method I'm doing. See that we're doing this, it's really just a case of upscaling it. So maybe you want to go 20k and then up this to 30k. Obviously you want the minimum buy now to probably be at least 10k above the maximum bid. The reason for this is so then you're not getting people who are just generally listing up their cards. 30k bid, 32.50 buy now. And again, another thing you want to make sure is you want there to be 15 or less pages to get to the 59th minute. It doesn't matter if it's 16 or 17. The idea is the last thing you can do is scroll all the way to 59th minute and then there's no deals. Because the market's not going to refresh until you back out and search again. Now, the filter that I'm personally going for, and again, this is what I'd recommend if you're on a high budget, at least $1 million or a few mil even, is 60k to 70k. Under this filter, you can get 500k special cards. You can get, like, second informed Pogbas, you can get Record Breaker Laporte, you can get all the Bruno Fernandes informs. So right here, you're basically trading with players worth anywhere from 70 to about 5, I think even up to, I think maybe up to like 700k. So there's a massive, massive array of players. And as I said, it's been working extremely, extremely well. Because even though you can't do compare price back out, everyone can't do compare price back out. Which means we're all on a level playing field. But in theory, a lot of people may not know about this method, whereas they did know about compare price back out. So we're going Upper Meccano right here. Upper Meccano has been 5, 6, 7. So that would be 20k more. After tax, he's going to have, obviously, when you're trading with more expensive players, they're going to have higher tax. And yeah, what I actually do as well is I actually switch it between Hunter and Shadow, because it allows me to trade a bigger pool of players, because a lot of players won't ever have Shadow being put on them. Players like Muriel, players like Zaha very rarely will have Shadow put on him. So what I actually do is I do this with Hunter, and then I'll switch to Shadow. Now, in this video, I'm not actually going to cover icon trading, but in theory, you could do the exact same concept I do here with special card trading, than you could with icon trading. Is Jovic that cheap? I'm going to buy him. Okay, so I saw 91 right here. Now, that wouldn't actually be profitable, but I would basically just gamble that he'll either fluctuate higher than 91 or that he was more than 91 previously. But it wasn't actually that amazing of a deal. So what I'm going to do is literally keep fluctuating between this. Again, this is what I'm doing over icons at the moment. The reason I like this personally over icons, because you get deals way more frequently than icons. I'd say I'm getting a deal at least every minute. Every other search, maybe we're getting a deal which is decent. And it's, yeah, on the whole, it's been very, very profitable. You know, I feel like I've garnered quite a decent market knowledge. I was selling him for 285 yesterday, so let's have a little look. Which is about a 30k difference with just under a 15k tax. Yep, should we see a fluctuation up to 285? Got 276 right there. Definitely would have had a 285 yesterday. There you go, 282, which means he got up to about 285. So as long as I can gamble on him fluctuating, that means he'll rise 28k. We got a tax of about 14k, which means there'll be a 14k profit right there. So, you know, there we go. In the flesh, a good deal for you guys. And I managed to flip about 3 of him yesterday. I got one at 240, one at 250. And obviously just picked this one up to 257. So, yeah, not bad. That is going to call it a video. As I don't have any icon methods, but again, you'll see, as I said, every other search, you know, I feel like I can get him a special deal. And that's a 14k profit right there, given that I can, you know, given that I can sell on, given that I can fluctuate back up again. But, yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully this has helped you guys in a time of despair of EA completely mugging off my methods. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys whenever with a brand new video.